Chris, well, I appreciate you coming.
Well, it's kind of unexpected, but yeah.
Crystal, if you would you tell me your name, please?
Crystal Sears.
Well, Crystal, I'm so blessed that you are helping us do this. Like I said, I don't know why God has laid this to my heart, but it's something I believe that God's going to use, and He's going to use you to help other people with this. Would you tell me about your family?
I grew up without my dad. My mom was an alcoholic and very abusive. She lost me due to heroin use when I was 5 months old. My aunt had me, which I bounced back and forth between my aunt and my mom. My mom, of course, beat me every time I was there. I was introduced to death very early on because my uncle shot and killed himself in front of me when I was 8. I was molested when I was 11 by my uncle. Other than that, I grew up pretty much with just those few people.
Is your family still alive?
My mama's not alive. My real dad I just found, he's not alive. My aunt's not alive, so pretty much everybody that was there is not alive anymore.
So you're alone in North Carolina?
Pretty much, except for my sisters, but they're strung out on drugs.
So wrestling with drugs has been an issue with a number of your family growing up?
Yes.
Are you the baby?
I was actually born addicted to methadone.
Are you an addict or an alcoholic now?
No, I am recovered.
You are recovering. We're proud of you. How long have you been in recovery?
I've had a couple slip-ups. I've been in recovery for going on and off for about 7-8 months now. I've had a couple slip-ups, but I've been sober and clean for about 3 months now.
Yeah, 8 months, 3 months. That is good. In my understanding, for the what was your drug of choice?
Meth.
Meth. 8 months of and only slipping a few times. From what I understand, that is probably one of the more complicated addictive drugs to get off of. And
Yes.
even the medication that they give you to get off that stuff is addictive.
Yeah, I couldn't take the medication. My body rejected it. Every time they give me like Suboxone or Subutex or something like that, it would make me sick, so I couldn't take it. So I just had to basically cold turkey it. Like I had to go through it by myself. Medicine wasn't helping me.
When did you start using methadone? Meth?
About 3.5, 4 years ago.
Where do you stay at?
I stay in Shelby on Mount Sinai.
How do you get around?
I have my friend Heidi basically take me to where I need to go when I need to get there. She's a recovering addict as well.
Is it easy to get drugs?
They're everywhere.
Is it dangerous in that
Right
particular
now,
lifestyle?
right now it's very dangerous because they're lacing the meth with fentanyl and it's killing people.
You know people that have passed from it, have overdosed?
2 of my friends just last month, as a matter of fact, OD'd. One, it busted his heart, and the other one shot up and OD'd, and nobody was there to Narcan him and save him.
Y'all were close?
We were friends about 3 years.
How do you make your money?
I was working up until last 2 weeks, but before that I was actually working a job doing IT computer work.
What's this life? How's this particular type of lifestyle? How does it affect you then, and how is your lifestyle now in relation one to the other?
Then I just didn't basically care. I was just going from house to house getting high, and now I know I've got to do what I got to do to get my life together. And it's still hard because it is in the house where I live, so I think it's a trial for my mind, and it's the devil trying my patience to try to get me to slip up and relapse again. So I just look at it as it's a constant battle with the devil on my shoulder, and it's rough. knowing that it's right there in the household at me. They don't do it around me, but just knowing that it's right there in the house to where I can get it if I wanted it, it's complicated. It's a battle with my mind. I battle with that a lot. It's very bad.
You are a Christian, and the reason I say that is because, other than the fact I have favor in you, I know that God has called you, and at times He was talking to you in your life. Is that correct?
Yes.
How is this? Let me ask you how this has affected your relationship with God.
I don't think it's really affected it much, but sometimes I do question why He allowed me to pull away and just go down that path. Why? I just feel like why is so much pressure on me, and He allowed me to go through that much pressure. Like, why let me pull away from Him as much as He did?
I remember one time I had asked God. I said, "Just kill me now. I'm right dead in the middle of your will. Just kill me now while I'm in the middle of your will." And He just simply would not allow that. And it's because we overcome the world by the word of our testimony, meaning this video and your choices now, your testimony is what will help others overcome the things that are in this world. That's why He didn't kill me then, so that I could have a testimony to overcome what I had overcome, to be a witness for the body of Christ and those that have not yet come to know Christ. What's your typical day like?
When I was working, I'd be working all the time. Then I'd come home, I'd eat, shower, and go to sleep. But now, mainly, I take my medicine that the psychiatrist has gave me, and I basically sleep. I'll take it. It knocks me out for a good 11, 12 hours sometimes. And then I'll get up and I'll eat, I'll clean, and I'll do the same thing again. So basically, I sleep most of the time.
What medication is for?
They've got me on Seroquel. It's to help me sleep, and basically, it's a bipolar and anxiety medicine. So it knocks me out. Really, 100 milligrams of it knocks me out like that. It makes me just either I'm out, and if I fight it, I get restless legs. So I try not to fight it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand that. Have you ever overdosed?
I have. Not on purpose. I was using the needle for about 2.5 years heavily, and I did a shot last year in January, and it dropped me out. And my friend said that they hit me with Narcan 3 times and had to call 911 because I OD'd. And I woke up in the hospital 3 days later, and they said that it had fentanyl in the meth, and it killed me.
Was your family still around?
No.
You had to deal with that by yourself?
Yeah, I woke up, and the only person that was there by my side was my friend, which is not alive anymore because he OD'd.
Do you have any close friends now at this point in your life?
I can't say close friends. I have acquaintances because I feel like if they were close friends, then they wouldn't have it around me at all. But I do have friends that allow me to live where I'm at now, but they do, like I said, respect me and don't have it around me. But I feel like if they were close friends, they wouldn't even have it in the house, period.
Mm-hmm. What are you afraid of? What is your biggest fear?
Relapsing and dying alone. That's my biggest fear at this point because I don't want to slip up and I don't want to relapse. But it's like everywhere I go, it's there. So it's a really hard battle, and I just feel like sometimes I'm scared that my mind and my brain's gonna just short circuit, as I call it, and I'm just gonna relapse, and it's a hard battle.
Are you reading your Bible?
I do not currently have one. Where I was living at before, everything of mine got taken because of the fact of the issue that happened with my boss man. So I'm currently getting everything back.
I think I may have one.
But I did have the Bible up until about 3 weeks ago that I've had for 2 years. And it's the one that I got in prison.
Tell me about your childhood.
I didn't have very much growing up. My aunt raised me. She was handicapped. I was at the babysitter's when I got talked into having my threesome for the first time of ever having sex, and I ended up getting pregnant. Having a kid at a young age. I married at 16 and was a widow by 21. Then I remarried and to my second husband, and that's where my drug use had started. And then me and him separated, and between that I ended up having my kids some to versus having them none, and I started selling drugs basically. And it just, one thing led to another, to me going to prison, losing my kid. I currently do have full custody of him again.
Good.
I just got to find out where he's located and get up on my feet before I even try to go get him. Most of my childhood was spent being beat. So I had a rough childhood growing up with alcoholism and drugs and abuse. So it was hard, and watching death. It was rough.
What's your favorite memory growing up?
That one's a hard one because I don't really can't say I really have one because there wasn't really good memories. The only one that I can recall that would be good is my 8th birthday when me and my aunt Wanda took that one beach trip, and that's about the only one that I really have that was a good memory.
Who introduced you to meth?
My sister.
Do you think life's unfair?
I think it's what we make it. I can't really say it's unfair because we make our own decisions and our own choices. But do I think that stuff happens to people or to me that shouldn't have? Yeah, I do. But I can't say it's unfair because I chose to be there in that time and place when I should have known better to be doing anything. So I think basically it's what we make it. I can't really say it's unfair.
Do you feel like you were loved as a child?
By some. I can't say I was loved by all of them because if they loved me and I was loved by them, they would have never allowed me to do drugs or pressured me to drink or pressured me to do drugs or anything of that sort.
Has these experiences that you've been through in the past, let's say 10 years, have they caused you to grow up, caused you to find yourself a little more wiser?
They have.
How so?
They've basically taught me life lessons of what not to go back to, what I shouldn't do, and what I know needs to be done.
What's the most important lesson you've learned?
Don't sell drugs. Try not to do drugs and try to better your life. The most lesson that I've learned is you can lose everything in the blink of an eye, and it can be gone.
What have you lost?
I've lost a lot. I lost my kid. I've still got to find where he's at. I've lost houses. I've lost cars. I've lost just about everything that I've owned and been down to the road of having nothing and being homeless.
And all this was due to meth?
Yes.
Have you ever been in love?
Yes, I have.
If you could give somebody a word of advice that would possibly be considering the possibility of meth or any other type drug, what would your advice be for them?
Step away from it. There's nothing in it but hurt and pain, and you'll lose everything you have. And then some.
What is your biggest regret?
Ever doing dope. Period. Even doing meth, pills, alcohol, any of it.
Well, baby, I love you.
I love you too.
And I appreciate you. I appreciate you doing this with me because, like I said, I believe that God is going to use this. I appreciate your sincerity. I appreciate your honesty. Not everybody will do that. I see people hide behind a mask, and this ain't none of this. Ain't none of this for show.
Mm-mm. It's real, and it can happen, and you can lose your life in a blink of an eye. Because I did mine.
And when I thought those ones who called me friend, to find out that they're friends long enough until you start becoming inconvenient.
Yep, and I've learned that everywhere I went. There's nothing in the drug game but people that play face, and they use you until they get what they want, and then once they got what they want, you're useless to them.
Yeah.
And it even hurts because it even goes down as far as my own husband at that time.
Yeah.
And look where he's at in the path of destruction, and I tried to save him, and I couldn't, even when we wasn't together.
Yeah.
But I realized you can't save somebody that don't want to be saved.
That's what I said earlier, that if I would not get up, that even God couldn't help me.